Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So this is a beginning of a series where we look at like 5 unique cards and kind of talk about like why maybe they're good, maybe they're bad. I'm not too sure. I originally I like to buy cards that are like maybe they'll have a use for at some point, but I'm not too sure. Or I buy them for a deck and then maybe they don't make it into the deck, but it's still like a cool card and it has like an effect that's I find interesting. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. We're gonna start with Skyfisher Spider. So he has, some interesting effects. So when it enters, sack another creature and then destroy target non-land permanent. So immediately, that's a pretty cool effect. Being able to hit any non-land permanent is always pretty good. When it dies, you may gain 1 life for each creature in your grave, and then exile it from your grave. So it gains you some life at some point. Now, in Arena, when I was playing this, I was playing like a scam style deck with this, and this was like one of the cards I had in it. And there was a cool kind of thing that you could do where when you had one out, you could target it with like Undying Malice, and then you would cast the other one, sack it, and then it gets effect obviously, but when you sack this, it goes to the graveyard, and you get the option to exile it to gain the life. So you can do that, and you gain the life, but since it was targeted with Undying Malice, it comes back, and then it triggers again, and you can sack this one. So you still gain the life from this, and it comes back with Undying Malice or whatever. I don't know if that's like how that actually works in real life, but in Arena, that's how that goes. And who knows if that's like correct? Let me know. So Satoru is a really interesting card, but I don't really see it getting played. I bought this I was making a Dimir scam deck when Grief was legal for Modern, but obviously Grief is banned. But because when you have this card on the field, right, and you have like a Subtlety or a Grief and you scam them, you get you draw 2 cards off of that, so that's pretty good. You basically like refill your hand when this is on the board, but this is still in standard, and maybe it'll see play at some point, but I don't really see it being played a whole lot, but I could be wrong. I am playing standard. I've been playing standard for like 3 months now, and I don't know, it's okay format, but even when I was playing this in like my scam deck like that, it was like hit or miss really. So hope it finds a home soon. I have Eradicator Valkyrie. So it's flying, lifelink, has like hexproof from Planeswalkers. I mean, that's basically like flavor text. I mean, it's relevant sometimes, but I mean, I don't know, some Planeswalkers, they have like non-targeting effects anyway, so it's like, why even bother? But it's an interesting hexproof ability, I guess. It has Boast, 2 mana, sack a creature, so when it attacks you pay the 2, sack a creature, and then each opponent sacks a creature. So a couple things is that I don't know why they made it to where you also have to sack a creature. Like, I feel like that's just too much. I mean, you already have to pay the 2 mana. Like, why do you have to also go down on resources for an edict effect? And edict effects are just, unless they hit more than one thing, they're just really not that good. I don't know, maybe it's good enough because it does say each opponent, so maybe it's good enough for Commander, but I mean, I'm sure it's Commander. I mean, there's a ton of options for that format, so Another thing is that with it being 4 mana, like, it's obviously competing with Shieldred. I mean, every 4 mana card that's in black is competing with that card, so it's definitely not good, as good as Shieldred. So it's just not really gonna eclipse that card at all or take its spot. I will say is maybe a budget option. I mean, these are going for about 50 cents a piece, you know, at the moment, but maybe it's a good option for people that don't want to invest in Shieldred. I don't really know, but interesting card. Maybe it'll find a home at some point. And then we have a really fun card, I think, at least. So I was making a Delirium deck, and I saw this for standard. Well, this being printed, and I was like, oh, I want to put that in my modern Delirium deck. I ended up just swapping this out for NT, because NT is just stupid. But anyway, I thought it was kind of interesting because when you have Delirium, it gains +2/+0 and Menace when it attacks. So, I mean, a 4/2 on turn 3 swinging with Menace, I mean, that's pretty solid, right? And if NT's on the board, it can be a 5/3, right, with the discard. So, fortunately, wasn't good enough for that deck. In standard, I'm not too sure if this will see play. I don't really. The main 2 decks in standard are like Pixie and Domain, right? So I don't know if Delirium will ever be a deck. I don't really see anybody playing it. I don't think there's enough payoffs for it. But I don't know. Maybe it'll be relevant soon. Last card is Verja. I think that's how you say that. Jojo Valor. I saw this card and I was gonna put it in like a Pioneer Orzhov mid-range deck, but I mean, Pioneer has so many good options for 5 mana in Orzhov, so it didn't make the cut. It has Flying, Lifelink. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, look at the top 3, put 1 in your hand, and the rest in the grave. So it just isn't very good, unfortunately, because you have to cast 2 spells to make it worth your while after you play this. So, and on turn 5, I mean, you're not gonna have a whole lot of cards in your hand anyway, right? Because if you're playing like on curve, this is playing on curve, turn 5, you play this. I mean, you're not gonna have 2 cards in your hand after, right? Unless you play something else like Cyan and Blood or something. But maybe I'm not seeing something that you can do with this. But right now, it just didn't make the cut.